About 3 years ago, I bought this piece of Bionicle history, and the crazy part is I never opened it. This pen was just sitting dormant on my Bionicle display shelf for years, but that changes today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you enjoy videos where I talk about Bionicle, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button. I promise I won't spam your subscriber feed, unlike LEGO. They really love to just upload like 10 videos a day. But we'll have more time for LEGO slander later in the video. Anyways, let's get on with it. This is a Bionicle Kopaka Mata pen, part of the LEGO writing system line. This sub-theme ties existing LEGO brands like SpongeBob, Star Wars, Marvel, and of course Bionicle, with stationery supplies, like in this case, these sick pens. It seems they started to do these specific kinds of pens in 1999, but they are hands down the coolest thing to come out of this sub-theme. I actually own a few of these pens, and they have a lot going for them. I really do get the appeal behind these, and if I was a kid in the early 2000s, I would definitely have wanted one, or hell, even all of them. The main reason why you'd probably want to buy this pen is because of all the exclusive accessories and customization that come with these. You can add these plastic bits to your pen and really personalize them however you choose. The beads can be in the shape of things like minifigure heads, like the ones that appear on this LEGO Adventurers pen. They include the iconic Johnny Thunder, for example, who was a very popular character in LEGO's pre-Bionicle history. Obviously, as you can see, they are made much larger than a standard minifigure head. Sadly though, the heads don't fit on minifigure bodies, kinda like the Bionicle heads that rolled out in 2006. LEGO really just hates fun for some reason. The heads, however, do fit on 2006 minifigure Bionicle torsos because the pieces can accommodate lightsaber bars, meaning you can get away with adding them to your builds like I did here. I made this goofy cyborg of Dr. Charles Kilroy from the Adventurer series. I want to say I only spent 10 minutes making this, but I ended up wasting an hour, and this was the best I could come up with. Yeah, system LEGO is not my strong suit. But studs and lightsaber bars are both ways to connect parts like the enlarged minifigure heads to your mocks. But if you really wanted to, you could probably just cut a minifigure torso stub on the top so they'll appear to actually fit, but that means destroying a LEGO part, so just keep that in mind. Also included are these bricks with printed designs. I got one that has Pohatu's foot printed on both sides, and this other one with the Noble Huna Turaga Vakama wears, plus a little silhouette of the former leader of the Toa Metro too. Not only that, you also have these filler pieces like these gears or even these strange honeycomb pattern designs. I get it, printed pieces are expensive, but at least the gears are cool. They're so big and feel somewhat cartoony. You could probably even experiment with this part and see if you can just use this for a LEGO contraption using the cog pieces from this pen. But the most significant piece here is this wide circular one. Now, on its own, it's not very cool. Some of them do come printed like this one that has the three virtues and the Bionicle logo printed on it. You could even mock this piece into a cool accessory like I did. I made this Bionicle-sized pendant. My headcanon is that the Matoran carry these around to remind them of their obligations to the Great Spirit Mata Nui. You could probably do a lot of things with these pieces, but despite all that, in my opinion at least, this piece on its own is not that neat. But it sure as hell is useful, and I'll show you how later on. Like I mentioned before, the LEGO pen parts have no issue connecting to anti-studs, which means minifigures can also hold them. However, the pen piece anti-studs cannot connect to base plate straight. Instead, you gotta give it a little space between the other studs, which you can do by slipping a 1x1 rounded stud piece underneath. Now, to connect these parts to the pen, all you have to do is slide them into the metal rod connected to the pen end, and when paired with the stud ports on these pieces, it makes for a solid, stable overall build. But now, the real reason you wanted to watch this video was to check out what I bought in 2023, this Kopaka Mata pen. This was released in 2001, and you could probably buy this back in the day at bookstores, scholastic book fairs, and most definitely at official LEGO stores or online. My Tahu pen came from the store by the name of Yankee Candle Co., and it was $15. If you adjust for inflation, that means this is almost worth $30 today. I don't know. If I had this pen, I would guard it with my life because that's insane. The package is very uniquely shaped and has that old school LEGO charm with just two giant things of plastic included, which, like the toy canister lid, has a reason to be there. The bottom piece acts as a stand for your pen, which is really neat, but I imagine most kids probably lost or just threw it away back in the day. And the other part is just the lid for the pen storage. The back of the packaging has a cool little lore blurb of the character on the pen, which is very soulful, and shows that LEGO really wanted you to know more about the character you had chosen. Most kids probably chose sets based on the color they liked, so using the packaging to sort of advertise and pitch the character to the child who wanted to buy it is very smart. I do wish LEGO kept Bionicle alive with merch like this. Hell, even a shirt would be cool. Maybe a Tahu plushie, seeing how Bionicle fans are now getting to that age and starting families of their own. But if this was a video suggesting the things LEGO could be doing, this video would have a much longer runtime. Like I said before, these pens come with unique system-compatible parts, but they also contain a very special piece that many hardcore fans scour internet marketplaces and secondhand stores to find, and it's this piece right here. This is a miniature Kopaka Mata mask, a very cool piece to own, and one that is extremely useful if you like to make mocks. Remember this round circular piece? Well, it has a use here. You see, the way it connects to the pen is by clipping onto it. This bead piece is the same color as the Mata's own eyes, and if you shine a light behind the mask, it's very noticeable just like the original sets. Each pen of course comes with its own miniature mask, meaning you'd of course need all 6 pens to have a complete set. Or back in the day, maybe even just trading with your friends. Sadly, collecting these masks is very difficult, as the LEGO group probably didn't make a ton of these, and even if they did, it wouldn't be too crazy of an assumption to just imagine most kids lost these masks or even the pens altogether. The masks don't have a solid connection like the beads. They just clip on, so it's entirely possible for these to come loose and be lost forever. Plus the fact that these sold for up to $15 back in the day doesn't sound like many people are rushing out to buy them. So with that being said, if you do have one of the Bionicle pen masks, first of all, congrats, you have a rare, very sought after piece of Bionicle history, and because of that, you should definitely look into mocking with them. Imagine making your own miniature Toa Mata with an official miniature Bionicle head. My friend Callan LOF did. He actually made this tiny Tahu Mata using, of course, the LEGO Bionicle pen HOW and a few system parts. It very beautifully translates well into Tahu, correctly capturing the colors on a normal Tahu, and the proportions also match nicely. If it wasn't for the cut pieces in the knees, I could honestly see LEGO releasing something like this themselves, a sort of alternative build that could have secretly been included in the pen's box or even on the LEGO website back in the early 2000s. I would love to try and build my own miniature version of Kopaka Mata using this mask. I really just need to sort through my parts before that though. Maybe even making an order on Bricklink for some nice parts to build this. I actually have used my Tahu pen mask to build a mech using parts from a third-party building block company that you should definitely check out. Now, we're getting to the end of the video, but before that, I just wanted to be the first person to, from what I can tell, document this. You see, since these pens are almost 25 years old, the ink in most of them has run dry, and because of that, it needs to be replaced. And since I can't seem to find an actual video online showing how to do this, I might as well document this. The Kopaka pen ran out of color, so I'll replace this one on video. All you have to do is screw the metal end of the pen clockwise, and then the front half of the pen should feel loose. Then you spin counterclockwise, and you can remove the pen inner parts. There's a spring and a pen cartridge holder. Don't lose these. You'll then need to buy 4C refills. The ink color doesn't matter, but I went with black. You, however, could choose any color, perhaps one that matches the Toa Mata's color? I guess you'd have to figure out what you'd want to do with Kopaka since he's white. Then finally, you just assemble it. Make sure the pen cartridge goes as far as you can back into the cart holder. Reattach the spring and close the pen up, and now your pen should work again. Because of the bottom half of the pen taking up so much room that could have gone to the ink cartridge, you'll probably have to replace the ink multiple times in the future, depending on how much you write with it. Hopefully you're able to accomplish all that you want with your revitalized Bionicle pen. Well, that's all the time I have today. Thank you for making it to the end of the video, and if you made it this far and you're not subscribed yet, I would be extremely happy if you did. And if you're already subscribed, that like button could use some attention if you forgot to hit it already. Consider leaving a comment about whether or not you own this pen, or if you want to someday. Would you like to see me attempt the Kopaka miniature mock? Let me know down below. Anyways, thank you again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.